Hey guys, welcome back. This is John with EB3.Work, and today we are going to look at the Visa Bulletin. The Visa Bulletin is important, an important part of the EB3 process because it determines when we can file the last stage of your application, either adjustment of status if you're in the US or consular processing if you're outside the US. The Visa Bulletin is easy to get to. Just Google Visa Bulletin. It's the first result from the U.S. Department of State. Click on it, and you'll see the current month and then the upcoming month. So let's take a look at December. Usually around the middle of the current month, the following month comes out. Today is November 12th, and the December Bulletin came out just a couple of days ago. So let's take a look. As EB3, as we work in the EB3 world, we go down, scroll down to employment-based preferences. And you'll see two options, A, final action dates, and B, dates for filing. There's a little link right here that you click on and go, and it will tell you which of those two to use. So next month is December, and it says for all employment-based preference categories, you must use dates for filing. So let's go back and look under the dates for filing category, and we will kind of dissect this. So other workers, this comprises most EB3 positions where there is generally less than 2 years of experience required for a position. So entry-level workers. What this date means is that your priority date, which is the date that your perm was filed, has to be before this date. So if your perm was filed before December 15th, 2020, and it's since been approved and your I-140 has been approved or filed, then you can file adjustment of status if you're in the US, or the US Embassy in your country will process your consular processing green card and call you in for an interview. So again, your priority date is the date that your perm is filed, and your priority date has to be before this date. Now, this will change. A new Visa Bulletin comes out every month, so we check it every month. And let's take a look at the difference between the third category and other workers. The third category is still EB3, but it's a little different in that in order to qualify for the third category, the position has to require at least 2 years of experience. But it gets a little more complicated than that because you can't just pick any position and say 2 years of experience are required. And I'll show you why. There's a concept called SVP. SVP stands for Specific Vocational Preparation, and there's a code affiliated with each. So Google SVP explanation. Either one of the top two Department of Labor results are fine. And I will show you how to interpret this and what it means. So let's say you own a restaurant and you have an opening for a cook. So if it's a restaurant cook or fast food cook, let's go restaurant cook here. And this is a Department of Labor government site, ONET Online. So you come down to job zone, and the SVP range, you want to look at two things. Number one is the job zone, what number it is. And number two, what's the SVP range? So SVP for job zone 2 is 4 to less than 6. So let's come over to the explanation. SVP four to less than 6. So that means 4 and 5, not 6. So the most experience that you can, as an employer, require for this position of restaurant cook is 1 year. And the reason is, if you require more than 1 year, on the perm application, it asks you if your requirements exceed the SVP, and you either say yes or no. If your requirements are more than 1 year, you have to say yes, and you have to provide an explanation as the employer. And there's no guarantee that the Department of Labor certifying officer will accept your explanation. They may even audit the perm and request a more detailed explanation, which further delays the case. So to avoid that and to remain within the SVP range, you cannot require more than 1 year of experience. So that brings us back to the Visa Bulletin. So that would have to be in the other worker category, because the only way to get in the third preference category is to have a requirement of at least 2 years. So as the owner of a restaurant, what options do you have? Well, let's go back and type in cook again and see what else. Here's an option, head cook, chef and head cook. So we're going to scroll down to the job zone. This is job zone 3, SVP range 6 to 7. And as we look at the SVP range here, let's take a look. 6 and less than 7. So that means just 6. And just 6 includes 2 years. So if you have a position for a head cook, you can require 2 years of experience and still be in the SVP range. And that would qualify the worker for the third category, which has a more advantageous priority date. So I hope this explanation helps. Leave a comment below or visit us at EB3.Work if you have any questions. Thank you for watching as always, and see you in the next video. Take care.